So, I want to talk about success with money today, really anything, but focused on finances. It's something that keeps so many people stuck, even if they have money. Oftentimes, people want to know, what do successful people do? How do they get success? You see some people succeeding, others failing and struggling, and it really makes you wonder. From afar, it really does appear that success with money has a lot to do with luck. And I get it. I believe that too. And then I started advising really wealthy people, and I saw firsthand a few things. Number one, some people are luckier than others, but at a core level, their success, like yours, like mine, is always going to increase when we take the right steps to produce the results. Our actions dictate our results. And when you do the work, amazing things happen. Roy Kroc, founder of McDonald's, shared, I was an overnight success, all right, but 30 years is a long, long night. I can't tell you how many people have told me how lucky I am. And I do believe in luck and I do expect luck. And so I think that does increase your odds. But I'm where I am because of the actions I took. When something didn't work, I figured something else out. And the best news of all is that anyone can do that. I didn't come from money. I'm not extra smart or special. I took the actions required to get the results, and you can too. So if you want to know how to get more success with your money and life, stay tuned. You're going to love today's episode. Hi, my name is Annette Bau, your host of the Wealth Inside and Out podcast. I'm a certified financial planner and founder of the Millionaire Insider. For over 30 years, I have been advising and researching the top 1% of millionaires, and I am passionately obsessed with money, mindset, and the intersection of self-worth and net worth, and how the two connect and allow us to live fulfilled and wealthy lives on our terms. I'm a Midwestern girl who had a dream, began investing $25 a month 35 years ago, and today have a multi-million-dollar net worth. I teach the tried and true that only someone with over 3 decades of experience advising millionaires would know. This podcast is different, about much more than money. We talk about mindset, success, money blocks, worth barometer, and all aspects of money and topics from practical manifestation, along with real world how-to and everything in between, with the goal of making your journey easier and more fun. Think of this as coffee, actually matcha tea, learning real world common sense money and life advice from a BFF that you can start applying today. If you want to create a financially free life you love, you are in the right place, my friend. This is the Wealth Inside and Out podcast. Today's free resource is our money mindset guide. You can go to themillionaireinsider.com/MMG. This resource shares valuable insight on mastering your money and mindset. It's over 3 decades of research and insight on money insight that you need to be able to get the money blocks removed, to create the beliefs you need, and master your mindset so you can achieve your goals. Again, themillionaireinsider.com/MMG. For today's show notes, you can go to themillionaireinsider.com/50. All materials and intellectual property are copywritten by themillionaireseries.com. The information we provide is not intended to replace any advisor or specialist or to provide you any investment, financial, tax, estate, retirement, or healthcare advice. All participants agree to hold millionaireseries.com and its affiliates harmless results achieved or not achieved. All international copyrights are reserved. So let's dive in. So one of the first things I discovered is the formula. And I want you to think about it for 1 minute. People that are successful have one formula. People that fail have another. They both have formulas. It's just a different one. Millionaires have one formula. Broke people have another. Healthy people have one formula. Ill people have another. The formula I discovered is foundation, which is your inner game, strategy, which is your game plan, and then execution, which is your outer game. If you want different results in any area of your life, you simply have to create a new formula. So if you want more success with money, create a success with money formula. It's that simple. So let's dive into these 3 steps as far as creating more success. The first one is your foundation. Any success in your life begins with a solid foundation. This allows you to show up at your best and take inspired action consistently, whether you feel like it or not. And some of the key components of that foundation is your worth barometer. This is the core because it dictates everything about what you do and don't do. It's a combination of your belief and self esteem, and it's going to determine your results more than anything else you do. When we have a healthy worth barometer, we do the work we need to get the results we want. We take right, inspired action, regardless of how we feel. If our actions don't produce the results we want, we take different actions. We don't complain or worry. We're committed to getting to the end goal. We take inspired action and we do the work. It's that simple. Do we feel like doing it all the time? No, but we do it. There's some things you can do when it comes to your money that can really help. And one is, obviously creating an emergency reserve. So if you do have unexpected expenses, you have a plan for it. Set both short and long-term goals, and then make financial freedom a priority. It's absolutely critical. And when you have a healthy worth barometer, all those things become a lot easier. The next thing is sleep. Sleep is so critical to success in any area because it allows us to think clearly, to operate at peak performance, both physically and mentally. Most experts recommend that we get 7 to 8.5 hours of sleep each night. Now, this includes the time you're awake, typically about 30 to 90 minutes. So if you go to bed at 10, you've got to sleep until 6:30 or 7:30 to get sleep. If you sleep only from 10 to 6 a.m., you're only getting 6.5 to 7.5 hours. And most people don't realize that. So be aware of it because sleep is so important. Lack of sleep can lead to several health issues, including depression, obesity, early Alzheimer's, diabetes, and many other illnesses. So make sleep a priority. Now, some of the other recommendations, just in case you do have sleep issues, and a lot of women as they get older do your best to sleep in a very dark space, sleep with cooler temperatures. Now, for me, this was super hard because I don't like being cold. We now sleep at 69 degrees and it's hard. When I go to bed, it's really hard. Both my husband and I have determined that we sleep a lot better when it's cooler. Other recommendations are to go to bed at the same time, ideally before 10 p.m. I ideally want to go to bed by 9:30. Doesn't happen a lot, but my goal is 9:30. Many experts recommend that you get to bed before 10, and I do agree with that. I find that when I go to bed between 9:30 and 10, I am a lot more productive, and the key is just to do it. And a lot of times I don't do it. I'm closer to 10:30, sometimes even 11. But boy, the later I go to bed, the worse I feel and the less productive I am. So just do what you can to get to bed early. Anyone who wants to win with their money in life prioritizes their sleep. So make it a priority. Now, one thing I also do is I don't wake up with an alarm clock unless I absolutely have to. That ensures that I get enough sleep. So again, just see what works for you, but make sure you're getting enough sleep. The next one is health. A healthy diet is probably the first step when it comes to health. And this includes lean protein, poultry, fish, and tempeh, organic non-starchy vegetables. That includes leafy greens, beets, celery, rutabaga, healthy fats, olive oil, avocados, flax, and chia seeds. If you can, digest sugars, okay. Complex carbohydrates like quinoa, sweet potatoes, or oats. Now, I have blood sugar problems, so I really limit my carbs and I don't do sugar. All right, physical health. This includes cardiovascular exercise, stretching, and weight training. My husband and I began weight training about 1.5 years ago because what I realized is I love yoga, I love cardio, I don't love weight training. And so we started going to our club and it has changed our lives. We're both stronger and in better shape than we've ever been. And both of us have lost weight. It's amazing what happens when you add in weight training. Interestingly, our club has started to do the weight training differently, where it used to be really just weight training. Now it's cardio combined with weight training. And I can also tell the difference with that. So what they're really focused in on is getting our heart rates up and then letting us rest. And then heart rates up and then letting us rest. And it's a workout. I'm telling you, it's a serious workout. For me, squats and lunges are like a piece of cake. I mean, I ski with my kids, so My legs are not the issue, but when you start combining some of their exercises with your heart, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so much work. But it's all about mobility. And it's really interesting because I was talking to one of the instructors, and she's talking about the fact that at our club, there's a lot of older people, and probably because they're the only ones that can afford to go to the club. But she was saying that they're doing a lot to make all the classes so that they improve our mobility. And one of my friends said, I just feel so much better. I feel this is harder than what we were doing because we're so used to that, but I can really tell the difference in even my mobility, and I can too. So that's the power of it. Whatever activity you do, just make sure that you are getting a plan that really works for you. An ideal plan, if you want just some ideas, would be getting 10,000 steps a day. So you can track that on either your iPhone or your Fitbit or whatever you use. 10 to 20 minutes of stretching daily. Yoga is a great option. Now, I do 40 minutes of restorative every morning, and then about another 15 minutes to 20 minutes of Kundalini, which is a lot about breath, and it's hard. And if you're going to start a Kundalini practice, I encourage you to go to a qualified individual. Make sure that you know what you're doing. And then 3 times per week weight training. We were doing 4. It was just too much. The second element, your strategy, is also referred to as your game plan. This includes your plan of how you're going to make and spend money. So the first step is to create a realistic spending plan with all your monthly income and expenses. This is going to include income from job or a career, part-time, side hustle, investments, interest, and dividends, wherever you have income coming in. It could be Social Security if you have it, whatever you've got. Then you want to determine your monthly expenses. And this is really important. I see this happen a lot. You got to remember to add in expenses that you pay for annually or semi-annually, like car insurance or taxes. You want to take the total payment, and then if you pay it annually, divide it by 12 to get your monthly expense, or 6 if it's a semi-annual payment. You want to have an accurate monthly budget. And to do that, you've got to have everything you spend monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and then annually. The third element is your execution. This includes your daily action. The first thing you got to do is just identify what are those daily actions you need to take to create a solid plan. And then you've got to schedule it into your calendar. You also want to look at what you need to do to create a solid foundation, because what you're going to find is the more time you spend focused in on a solid foundation, the easier it's going to be for you to take the steps to implement your plan. Now, if you don't have a game plan, like you're saying, wait a minute, Annette, I don't have a game plan, that's fine. Schedule time to start creating one. Then, as you have one created, then you can start spending time executing it. The secret to success is the consistent execution of your plan. You've got to do the work, whether you feel like it or not. And I'm just here to tell you, I have spent 35 years working with very successful people, and I have yet to find any that don't do the work. You got to do the work to get the results you want. Now, if you start a plan and it's not working, say after 6 months, identify new steps you need to take. So if you're not earning enough money, do you need to get a new job, or do you need to get more training so you can earn more, or do you need to consider a side hustle? The key is that you just don't give up. What's so interesting is that I see so many people give up right before they're ready to really make an impact, or they start saving and then all of a sudden they start having influences of, oh, let's go out to dinner, let's go drinking, let's go whatever it is. Spending money on clothes you don't need or can't afford within your budget. And the next thing you know, you're like, it's not even worth it. I don't want to do it. I'll worry about it later. My friends, those are the people that end up broke in retirement. Don't let that be you. It's so simple to just start. And before you know it, you start creating those hardwired neural pathways. And before you know it, you're going to have more success in every area of your life. So there you have it. So let's recap on putting success with money into practice. Everything in life has a formula. Foundation, strategy, and execution is what dictates your results. Not luck or woo-wooing it into fruition as so many people want it to be. And I get it. Who wouldn't, right? And I'm going to actually do. Our next episode is all on manifestation, practical manifestation, because it's so important. But if you want success with your finances, you got to create a formula that allows you to have success. Now, one thing you also need to be aware of, most people love the excitement of a new challenge and just the high you get from achieving a goal. I mean, who doesn't? But most of us don't love boring and mundane. One of the things that I have found that is so essential that successful people do that others don't, especially when it comes to securing their financial future and retirement, is we're willing to do the boring and mundane. There is so much about success with your life and with money that is boring and mundane. You don't want to do it. It's tedious, it's time consuming, but it's what allows us to secure our financial future and retirement. So we have to do it. And it's going to dramatically improve your odds of success. Examples could include like managing your worth barometer and emotions, getting adequate sleep, eating a clean diet, and exercising. You don't feel like eating a clean diet. You want to go eat junk food. You don't want to go to bed early. You want to watch that movie. Whatever it is, just be aware of it. It also entails managing your cash flow and finances, paying attention to the details, even if you delegate some of them, and then creating a financial plan that works for you. The key is to identify and consistently complete the activities that need to be done, whether you feel like it or not. And that requires a neural pathway. It requires it to become a habit. And once you start doing it, it takes on average about 66 days to form a neural pathway. And so about 2 months. So just give yourself some time. Remember that even small actions over time can produce big results. Right? My friends, you got this. Now you just need to go do it. If you love the content of this podcast, please follow and subscribe to our channel so you get notified of episodes, and also give us a 5-star review and share a comment. We really appreciate it. Congratulations on taking another step to create a financially free life you love. If you're not sure about your financial future or that it's in order, or you are ready to stop worrying about money, or possibly the fear of becoming a bag lady, ending up broke in retirement, or you simply are ready to know your financial house is in order so that you can have a bright financial future, please go to themillionaireinsider.com/NSF. And that doesn't stand for non-sufficient funds. It stands for next step finance. It's the next best step of what you need to do so you can avoid an NSF notice in your future. Again, themillionaireinsider.com/NSF. The number of women who were not broke or poor while working or married is staggering. The entire mission of the Wealth Inside and Out podcast is to ensure you have the information for you, your family, your friends, anyone who's willing to listen to it and apply it so that you can create a financially free life you love. Again, themillionaireinsider.com/NSF. Until our next episode, take one action that will help you create a financially free life you love. I'm Annette Ba'u, your host. All international copyrights are reserved. Bye for now.